All right, here we go. So, in between episode 1 of season 13, Curse of Oak Island, and episode 2 for the Curse of Oak Island, I figured I would take a step back and look at the one item that was presented to the Laguna teams from the relative of James Piplato. So, who is James Piplato? So, supposedly, Mr. Piplato was the foreman, the overseer of one of the diggings that originally happened back in the Money Pit area. He was in the Money Pit. Supposedly, he was 90 feet down in the hole that was and is the original Money Pit. And 8 feet below that, his drill, his auger, his team dug through count them, two buried wooden boxes. Supposedly. There's no proof of that at all. Anyhow, Mr. Piplato supposedly, when the auger bit came out, he saw something small and round sticking out of the bottom of it. And he grabbed it, and he stuck it in his pocket, and he ran away like Speedy Gonzales. He went to all these different individuals, and he said, "I've got treasure." And he attempted to buy the entire east side of Oak Island, to which he was told, hell no. Anyhow, he disappeared, and so disappeared the magical coin until 2025. An individual shows up on Oak Island and he says, "This is the coin that my relative pulled out of that auger." It's this one here. This is the exact coin, supposedly, that the relative pulled out. Now, the Laguna team said this is the one item that proves there's treasure. It's silver. And they handed it to Emma, and Emma ran off to the lab, and she did all this scientific research on it. And she came back, and she said, this coin right here is from Portugal. It is Portuguese silver, and it is from the reign of King Ferdinand. And the reign of King Ferdinand lasted from 1367 to 1383, and that fits perfectly in the timeline that the Laguna team need us to believe that something happened on Oak Island. Now, let me tell you the truth. This coin is actually from King Manuel. And King Manuel reigned in Portugal from 1495 to 1521. Centuries after the Templars had been disbanded. This coin over here is actually a King Ferdinand coin. Now, they look kind of similar, but they're obviously different. This is a hand-hammered, forged coin over here, and this is more mass-produced. Now, King Manuel had this coin produced so that it could be part of his whole global modernization, global expansion that he was doing. And he used these coins to trade in Africa and across the, right, just everywhere. Widely used for trade. Showed up in what would eventually become the Americas, the Nova Scotia area. No far sign. Now, all these little things here that they try to figure out what they are, these actually represent castles. Around these coins, and this is where I don't understand where Emma's research came in, because I don't know what Emma researched. Around these coins, it actually says King Manuel around the coin, or so my research has shown. But the number of times that I've researched these two coins, this is a Ferdinand coin and this is a Manuel coin. Now, the misrepresentation of this coin on the Curse of Oak Island and the misrepresentation of the date associated with this coin on the Curse of Oak Island to set the research back 200 years into the time frame that the Laguna team want us to believe that something happened on Oak Island, I find questionable. I find it highly unlikely that professionals doing professional research, because I'm an amateur and I figured this out, and professionals doing professional research couldn't differentiate these two coins to provide the accurate information on the Curse of Oak Island. So, is this the one item that Rick Laguna was looking for? It is not. It could have been found on Oak Island, but I highly, highly doubt it. That it was in a treasure chest 98 feet in the Money Pit. Because this coin is roughly worth $10 if compared to modern money. Now, if I was going to bury treasure on Oak Island, such as all of these crazy things that the team thinks buried there. Would I expect to find a $10 bill buried there? No. No, I wouldn't. Not at all. So, if you want to run down that avenue, that this coin was actually found on Oak Island and it was actually buried 98 feet deep, go right ahead. If you want to be realistic, this coin did not come out of an auger that Mr. Piplato pulled out of the ground at 90 feet underground in the money pit that is now, poof, vanished and nobody can find, which is why the Laguna team has drilled 3,333 holes in the money pit area trying to find the supposed pit that this coin supposedly came out of. Now, that's my little excerpt for midweek between Curse of Oak Island Episode 1 and Curse of Oak Island Episode 2. Again, King Manuel, King Ferdinand, Emma's research was 100% incorrect. And then the whole story that Mr. Piplato drilled through two, count them, two wooden boxes and not the one wooden box that has been historically relevant in all of these stories, makes it feel like the Lagunas are just fishing for anything that us gullible suckers will bite on to go, there's treasure on Oak Island. There's not treasure on Oak Island. But that's my midweek update. See you next Tuesday.